What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology for Titans action, sporting the left side of the map in the blue color playing as Ra. His name is Redo. His opponent today in the red color playing as Zeus. His name is Skady. The map is Tundra. This is currently game number 3 of this best of 5 for the semifinals of the Foobly Champions League. Redo looking to run away with it here, playing incredibly well, and Skady, it does not seem like himself in this series so far. Not with that ruthless strategic efficiency that he normally goes for, trying some pretty crazy things. Not macroing too well in the first game, and then the second game going for an Athena style, which just did not work out for him. Now in the second game, still sticking with the Zeus. I'm surprised to see him not switch into his Uranus, which has had so much value with throughout this this tournament. And we see Redo going in with a third god pick already, picking his Ra here. Ra being one of those gods which a lot of people consider the strongest Egyptian god because of that rain, because of how defensive you can be, and because of how booming you can be. And yeah, we'll see if it works for Redo here. Tundra is one of those maps that I wouldn't think that Ra would be a good pick on, simply because of forward gold mines like this, and there's a lot of gods that can abuse Ra on this map, such as Odin, Loki, Uranus, even Zeus to some extent. Poseidon's good here. All those gods can take games off Ra on this map quite a bit. We do see him picking up this Bridle of the Pegasus here. Nice relic for Ra, because Ra has very, very poor scouting, so that temple will come out and we'll see that one. We do see what looks to be a very fast advance time coming from Redo, unless he puts villagers to wood. Right now it looks like he's going for like a 430, but it is looking like he's going for this wood line. So no, just wall segments and stuff like that, nice and early. Probably would have preferred to see a house instead of the wall segments down on this location, but just going to be surrounding this tower, and such is life. Very, very defensive here. I guess he's scared of another Athena rush, and obviously Ra does struggle a little bit more against the Athena rush than the set from last game, so sort of these wall segments are a little bit necessary to defend this. That being said, if you're good enough, you can push through this with the help of a couple of Minotaur or something like that. And there's the house coming down, as Redo does seem like he's forgotten it. He's chucking it up as fast as he can. And there's another wall here by Redo, just playing absolute huge amount of defense on this tower, as he realizes how important it is. It's just as important as this tower, though, so we might see him do exactly the same thing over there. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Skady go back to a little bit more of a safe style here. 2 town center, Hermes into maybe an underworld timing attack might be the way to go, or even a 2 town center Athena into an underworld timing attack, similar to what we saw with Hagrid against Mage on that watering hole, if you remember that game. If you don't, I do recommend checking that one out, because that strategy was brilliant. So we'll see if Skady goes for that. He's going for the 3 wood, or he's going for 3 golds here, so a little bit old style, throwing down a second storehouse already to spread out his wood villages. And he should be able to advance fairly easily here. Let's check out his food situation. He's already got the 400 food, and he's still building a couple of extra villages, and he will be advancing after this villager here. And do we see any advance from Redo? Yes, there's the tar, there's the wall segments around this tower here, and the walls coming up. We're seeing more and more houses for Redo. He's very concerned here about any sort of rush that's coming, and Skady will be seeing that with this Catastropus, and should react to the fact that all of this gold has been spent on these walls. So what this means is, you see all of this gold here. These walls are not cheap. 15 gold a piece here. Even this one here is 6 gold, the short wall. Then you have all these little wooden walls which cost 3 gold a piece here. So he's going to be a little bit short on resources on the gold, so it is possible to go for a strong gold starve. So you don't push into the middle of the base. You got to beat the we've seen that Monument the village up so late. Is in fact empowering it to try and get more favor. I think that was just a little bit of a delayed retasking there, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Skady not even bother with the home base and try and play around beating the heroic age army of Ra with the classical army of Zeus, or even the heroic age heavy cavalry army as well could be an option. We do see the Odysseus coming out straight away, as we are seeing another box here from Ridu. This is very, very strong against the Zeus. As we talked about, Shifting Sands is what makes Egyptian playable against Zeus, and we are seeing the armor coming up now from Ridu. I love this building positioning here from Ridu, blocking every single aspect into his base. And do we see anything coming out for Skady? Not just yet. He may just simply go for an... No, he's going for a town center. So it's a little bit of a late town center, but totally fine because it's going to be scouting around. Odysseus coming in here. He may have an avenue to start slinging away. This wall, not quite good enough. Should always give yourself a wide amount of room here. So I'm pretty sure the Odysseus can sneak in here and hit this gold mine from this location. We do see him going for it here, trying to sneak the Odysseus in. Not quite close enough. Maybe he is. There is a location. He is close enough. Nope, not good enough. Nice walls here. Nice situation for Ridu to be in. He played it correctly. Tower will be able to push the Odysseus back, even though the Odysseus can fire against the villagers. It's just not worth it to do that. There's the second town center for Skady. Honestly, maybe even a third town center wouldn't be a bad idea, but we are seeing Ridu going for a direct, fast heroic here, not a second town center. And that's going to be an interesting one there. We do see a lot of hunt still to go in his base. We're still with the Auroch, so he doesn't even need to fast farm here. And we'll see what his options are. Villagers already coming over on this town center. So Skady is going for the 3 town center boom. He's noticed that you've basically got a town center worth of walls in this base. I haven't done the calculations here, but it's a lot of gold in walls. So nice play from Skady, not overcommitting to anything and reacting to what Reed's doing. But he's going for Military Academy stable again. I'm interested to know why the Military Academy against Egypt, as it's not something I've ever had success with. So maybe Skady knows something that I do not. Already throwing up walls here for Skady. I like this, quartering off the map. Probably would have liked... I guess you can't really wall this off. It would be a bit too difficult, but he has given himself a lot of the map to play with here. And now we've got Hoplites coming out, Hippocon coming out for Skady. 3 town centers just about up. Lots of hunt to play with. And we'll see if he can afford all 5 of these production facilities going on as Hathor is coming in. So Skady, so Ridu will have to get some value in this heroic age on this 1 town center. One of those big things that Ra doesn't have that the other Egyptians do have is a strong 1 town center game. You can go for like segment pushes or something like that. We do see the Migdol Stronghold coming up as the units searching around to spot this. And this isn't the Pharaoh here. So this Migdol Stronghold goes up very, very slowly. The Hoplite will spot it as the units moving over here. They hit the priest. And more villagers coming in onto this location. This is huge for Skady. He's probably going to be able to deny this Migdol stronghold with the help of these other units. And the Minotaur coming in, more units streaming in here. The Hoplites coming in. We do see the Rock coming through, but that's just going to be bolted. Not the Rock, but the Patsukos should get bolted here. We do see that. The Odysseus does hit that priest there as more of these units come in. And Ridu has to pick up his villagers. Shifting Sands, a couple of these units into the base, but there is a hole there. And the Rock gets shifted as well. The Rock gets shifted as well, so he can't even get the Migdol stronghold up. What an absolute blunder there from Ridu. I saw what he was trying to do, but the Shifting Sands works on every single unit flying or on the ground. And the Pharaoh almost getting taken out as well as more units coming in for Skady to finish this Migdol stronghold off. So really nice play, but remember, Skady still has access to restoration, so he can come in and finish this Migdol off if he wants to. And this Minotaur here going to be dying to the Minotaur here. So we'll see how that works for him. As the Migdol stronghold going up, repairing it to full, spamming out the chariot archers, going after this town center as well. Do we see a market up? No market for Ridu just yet. Going to be running out of gold very, very soon. So an all-in push here may be very, very strong for Skady, but he's had some, he may be in his head a little bit because he's had a little bit of bad luck with his timing pushes in this series so far. So there's the town center coming up. That's mercenary as well that he has to deal with if this town center's up. Now the chariot archer's moving out. We'll spot this villager. Going to be spraying at her, and she'll probably fall. The rock overhead getting targeted down by the Odysseus. That's searching for potentially a locust, and the units surround these chariot archers, as most of them do get picked off, but they do manage to somehow pathfind through the axes and the steel of the Greek army there, and the rock does get picked off by that Odysseus. Nice play by Skady there. And we even see him really far forward with villagers eating these caribou in the corner here. And how's the economy going? 114 of 145 to 72 of 130. Lots of wood in the bank, but not much else. And he's able to start continuing pumping out units. Again, making archery range. Like, the way that I understand Greek is that, against Egyptian, is that your sort of army progression through the game, generally speaking, you go cavalry first, pure cavalry, until the early late game, to early Mythic Age. Then you try and transition into infantry to make Myrmidon. And then you transition into Toxotes, Towers, and Petropolis if everything is not working for you at that stage. Or if your opponent defends you. That seems to be the transition, but this is just completely crazy. We see the rain coming down for Ridu, so no restoration here. So Ridu buying himself another 1 minute of time as Skady not able to push in. We'll see what he can do, but 131 to 84 population, and Skady's going to be able to get to the heroic age very, very soon. Another stable coming up. Do we see an armory coming up as well? We do. And even these farms, a couple of farms already up for Skady as well to get value out of that. Do we see some technologies coming through? We've got medium cavalry for Skady. Very important technology. Gives so many extra hit points to these Hippocon here. He does lose another hoplite at this point. 11 hoplite in his army. No upgrades for them. He has cancelled them. I think these hoplite are essentially just here to take down the Migdol stronghold. And we'll see if it works. We do see a third town center now coming up for Ridu. He's got a good amount of farms here. 15, 16 farms. So he's getting a lot of food out of this. Now the medium Hippocon coming in. No copper shields copper shields at all. And he is pushing in. He's going to have a restoration, but he does decide against that attack as the chariot archer's concave there is way too good. Wouldn't be surprised. Well, actually, he can't move through this location because he takes too much damage from the town center. So there's no real avenue for Skady to attack here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the second armory going up, to see the Apollo coming through very, very soon. He's got enough resources to do so. Maybe going Dionysus and a bronze push here wouldn't be a bad idea either. We'll see. He's going through Apollo. Apollo is standard. Underworld attacks onto a back town center is a really good way to win the game against Egyptian, especially against the Ra. But we do see some villagers sneaking in here, and the wall looks like it's finished off for Skady. So these villagers over here completely blocked in, and we already see the Hippocon on their way to pick them all off. And even with Skin of the Rhino, which they do not have just yet, these villagers have no escape, as this wall is just way too good. And we are seeing the villagers going to be making a dart for it through this location, but he can't find any way out here. And there's a locust on these villagers, not getting, or gets 2 villager kills, almost 3, 4, 5 villager kills. That is the luckiest locust I've ever seen moving its way into where the villagers are retreating. The cavalry will be able to pick off yet another villager before it gets to the tower here. So very, very lucky play from Ridu here. But all these villagers for Ridu going to be falling as well. There's the heroic age for Skady. How many resources in the back? Not enough to jump straight to the mythic age, but these villagers all falling. So a big win there for Skady, and a huge loss for Ridu, even though he did get that locust. Remember, he is now down a heroic age god power, which is very, very big value. We see another wall coming up here for Ridu, who's going to be very concerned about a third gold mine here. This is the next gold mine he could potentially have. We check the map out. There's nowhere else for him to get one. Maybe this gold mine as well. We see forward archery ranges coming up. Siege work's trying to come up here, but it's never going to go up because there's no villagers there. The wall's already there. And what upgrades are we seeing? Hera for Skady. He is just going for it here. He knows that this Lightning Storm is going to be the nail in the coffin for Redo. He's throwing up another Siege Works. The Manticore in the back does so much damage. We still have a restoration here for Skady as the army can continue pushing in here. Nice pullback on the Chariot Archers, making sure that they aren't getting targeted there. And they get pulled back as well. But now a Fortress coming up. Skady does have to get some sort of follow-up to the Lightning Storm. Otherwise, Redo can just reproduce those units, but he's only got one Migdol Stronghold. He does. He's throwing up barracks over here as well. Obviously, wants to get Mythic Age, wants to get probably Horus or probably Osiris actually, but Horus wouldn't be a bad idea just because getting out those spearmen may be necessary just to reproduce his army, but we'll see what he can do. The Son of Osiris is a good unit to defend as well, I guess. Heavy cavalry coming in. Herat 65% complete. Heavy chariots are in already as well, though, for Redo as the army trying to push through this town center. We do see fortified town centers coming through for Redo. And now the Hippocon push in and do beat that, stop that barracks from coming up. And now the units do push onto this. Still has roughly 10 hoplites left, so these hoplites do a lot of damage to this town center with the extra 100% damage against buildings that they have. Walls coming up now for Skady as he's taking this down. Restoration coming through. The Chariot Archers do pull back right now, and now the hoplites and the Hippocon should just move onto this location. Hera comes through. Lightning Storm comes in, but the chariots do just garrison. He's going to save 9 of them. He should be able to save 10 of them, and a lot of villages do fall as well as this push will tear down this town center. Mercenary Cavalry can't be produced. Petropolis trying to get out of here as well, but just not happening. Walls going to be able to be finished, but this Toxodia actually blocking this. More military academy is going to be coming in. We will be seeing possibly Myrmidon starting to flow out here, and now the villagers get pushed off this gold mine as well as Skady takes down this town center, and Aridu is completely in a swarm of chaos now. No upgrades coming through for Aridu either, while heavy infantry and bronze shields coming through for Skady. The Odysseus takes out the Patsukos very, very easily as this Manticore living on 28 HP coming in, going to use his special onto the bulk of these units. Well, maybe not. Now we have Mercenary coming in. Very, very strong units indeed, but the Medusa can pick them off incredibly quickly. Super value out of that. You can see how much HP and armor these unupgraded units have. So getting a free kill on those is very much worthwhile. More villagers now coming in, going to attempt to get this town center up. If he continues fighting, he very easily will get this town center up, and it's going to be very difficult for Redo to make a comeback here as the Medusa can just pick off any of his big units that he might need. And the heavy cavalry just tanks so much damage from these Chariot Archers, which are still just trying to dart back and forth. But again, it's still only one Migdol here, and we're seeing medium spearmen now coming through. And like I've said before, medium spearmen do not beat heavy cavalry. They just not a valuable unit to be making, but he needs more stuff to build. I think a second Migdol would have been very, very useful. And now the Bellerophon coming through. We see Osiris coming in now for Redo. Champion cavalry coming in for Skady though, but he's really got not that many cavalry out at the moment. He's kind of got more Toxotes, but they will help out quite a bit. And the Bellerophon searching around for someone to pick off maybe trying to get his special back. No, he's still got it. Takes 15 seconds to recharge. And there's the Underworld here. Going to be hitting this market and stopping the trade route. The trade route is kind of non-existent though, so this is a little bit excessive from Skady, but he has got this corner corded off as well, so it's a big win in terms of map control, and there is no way for Redo to hold on to this position. He's got only this gold mine left, 1,000 gold left here. And the army moving over onto this location. Bellerophon still here, ready to jump in and just cause chaos on these Chariot Archers. The way you play around with Bellerophon against Chariot Archers is you just jump in to the Chariot Archer army, wait for the Bellerophon to get targeted, and then you start running it around, and those Chariot Archers do not hit it at all. There's the Osiris though. Is there a Pharaoh, or did he get picked off? There is a mummy, so the mummy can help out a little bit here, and we'll see if it matters. Now the units can just teleport through that underworld back into this location here. Going to be able to hit the Migdol stronghold where we see champion chariots coming through. We do see 135 of 130 population for Redo. As the mummy coming in, Bellerophon already has ideas of taking it down, and we see him jab that mummy once there before following it. He will not jump onto a unit that is retreating away from it, and he will see that this Bellerophon can pick that mummy off before it gets any value at all. Medusa, for some reason, targeting down the Migdol stronghold. There's the Son of Osiris coming through. Got to be super careful with this unit because Bellerophon will be able to do a crazy amount of damage to it. It does have to do 100%, or sorry, 100 hack damage every single time he uses its special ability. Now the Son of Osiris coming in, Bellerophon will immediately target that one, or at least should do. And here we go as Bellerophon runs in, going to be hitting this Son of Osiris for crazy damage there, 26 hack damage apiece. Going to be retreating the Bellerophon until he gets the special back. At least I think that would be the idea. And he does jump onto it, as we see. And it's really difficult to micro that Son of Osiris against a Greek player here. Really nice play from Skady here, as he is completely destroying this Ra of Redo. As we're seeing that Son of Osiris almost giving up on its life there as the Heliopolis just do so much damage, as well as the Bellerophon. Even a Hoplite getting in here, whacking that one away. We see the Bellerophon jumping over here, finishing off some more Chariot Archers. Population for Redo, as too low, way too low for Redo. And Skady takes game number 3, making this a series here. We'll see if he can win game number 4, continuing this trend here. This style from Skady, very, very strong, much more reminiscent of what we've seen from Skady throughout this entire tournament. Just ruthless efficiency, and Redo just way too terrified of the Athena threat with all of those wall segments, all these wall boxes, not going for an immediate second town center, really not making any effort for that. Just was not able to keep up with economy here. And if you can't keep up with economy against the Zeus, you're just behind from the get-go, and it's really hard to catch back up against those strong units. So nice play from Skady here. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.